Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. What the heck is going on, everybody? Yeah. Dance. Okay. Beatbox version. Hands in the air.
Friday Eve, bitches. It's Friday Eve.
Yeah, nope, that did not end the way it should have ended.
Well, then why don't you end it?
I was trying to. You kept talking over me. You kept on fucking beatboxing over me, over a beat that was already going.
Just took and ran with it, huh?
Just what you want over a drum beat is more drum beat.
Oh, sorry for trying to have fun, dick. I apologize for trying to be fun.
No, have fun. I love it. I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. You can tell.
You can tell.
Yeah. Let me see. Got a whole bunch of your emails to get to here today. Might get to some audio. We're going to see if Denny's can find it. I got a text from an old buddy of mine. Used to, on the radio, go by the name Bat Nails.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
on the Buzz.
We haven't heard from him in a minute.
Yeah. He sent me a text and he said, yeah, Howard Stern's talking about you guys today.
Why?
Like, yeah, why not? Howard Stern's talked about our show probably like 10 times now.
What did we do now?
This was about when we had High Pitch Eric on, and he was playing back the audio when High Pitch Eric had told us about how he came to South Florida to meet up with Debbie the Cum Lady.
Yeah.
And they were basically just talking about how High Pitch Eric had lied to us.
And none of it was true.
Apparently so, yeah. I mean, he had me fooled. It sounded believable.
It did sound believable. Yeah. I mean, I like a good story. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't matter if the story is true or made up. Right, Howard? Because Howard does that shit, too.
I gotta looking back now.
Fuck that.
It was just some dude talking about his fantasies.
I was into it.
It's kind of gross.
It was gross, but I was into it.
Yeah, I didn't love it. I did not love that moment. I'm not going to lie.
Well, Eric was trying to call us the other day. What was he trying to call about? Did you ever call him back?
Yeah, no, he had texted me. He has got a surgery coming up. Tomorrow, he's got a cervical spine surgery.
On his cervix?
That's what it says, cervical spine surgery. What is that? What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. I thought if you had a cervical surgery, you had to have a cervix, but what do I know?
Well, I don't know. It might be a description. So I don't know. I'm not, yeah, you would think. I don't know if that means that he has a cervix or... I don't know. Is he lying again?
It's a neck thing. It's a neck injury.
Okay.
Cervical, yeah.
Cervical spine anatomy, yeah. So it's not
not
about
a
your
cervix.
cervix.
That'd be amazing as a revelation if it turns out Eric had a cervix.
Yeah, it's about your neck. So that's what he's got going on. So, yeah, I'll see. Maybe we can get him on here.
No, don't do that.
No.
Why?
That would be a bad move. If somebody lies to you and then makes fun of you, like, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna lie to us, and I don't like.
I think he's trying to win favor with Howard by messing with us and then going back to Howard and telling Howard that he fucked with us. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just curious what it was all about. I don't know what the tone is
Why
or
don't
what
you
happened
and
with
your
it.
fucking cervix go back to New York? Because I'm not interested. Okay. I'm not nobody's bitch.
Well, that's what it feels like. It feels like he came in here just to tell his fucking fake story. Now they're on Stern. Ripping on it.
Yeah, I don't know what the tone is. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of curious.
The
I
tone
just heard
is,
that he was.
I'm bored. That's the tone.
Okay.
I'm moving on, and I think you should too, Kev.
Look,
high pitch, fuck off.
Do what you will, man.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that dramatic.
Yeah.
It just has to be like, we're good, boo.
Well, it'd be one thing if we got an overwhelming amount of people who are like, that was the best interview. It was fucking great. Like, every comment I got was, I'm repulsed right now.
Yeah.
This is disgusting. What the fuck? And now it's not even real. So now it's just this fucking weird fantasy about the ramblings of a man's.
He's gross to look at, and then when you do think of him in a sexual context, it's nothing pretty.
Well, I'm not at all going in on his looks. I'm not trying to say.
am.
I'm not. What I'm saying is, it just was this, and then the cum, and then there's fucking cum everywhere, and there's more cum. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And look, I'm down to talk about cum if y'all want to. It wasn't even real.
Yeah, I just think that he's got some bit that we don't get that's going on, and I don't want to help him make us look stupid, and I think that might be what's going on.
Well, I'm confused because he's been a friend for over 20 years, and why? And that'd be my question. Be like, so why? What the fuck is going on? Are you clowning me, or what are you doing? So I don't know. I'll have that conversation with them off the show.
You have it off the air, find out the details, and then come tell us, because I am curious.
Okay.
But I don't think you'll get the truth out of him,
probably
though.
not.
Yo, we got clowned. Y'all, we got clowned.
Yeah.
It's so clear that we got clowned.
KVJ loves getting catfished.
We get it. We're trusting people.
But if
We
he did,
are.
though, I mean, think if you knew a guy for 20 years and he did that to you, you'd be
Sure.
like, fuck off.
Of
man.
cour's that's
Yeah.
my sentiment.
Right.
I was all into it, and because he's supposed to be a friend, but it's too weird for me.
He's doing some kind of side act with Howard, and we are the laughing.
Well, we already know Howard.
Like I said, I don't know what the tone of was it.
Well, we already know what
it
Howard
was,
thinks of us. He thinks we're small market fuck faces. He called me a fuck face, literally.
Which may be true. I think we are small market fuck faces.
What's
but
funny-
it hurts when one of your idols says it to you.
Hey, it's funny though. I still listen to Stern at times.
I do too.
It wasn't even real to me. Howard Stern making fun of me is a surreal thing. I can't even take it personal.
I wish, because I always had dreams like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to be Howard's friend? Because if he's in radio and you're in radio, and wow, he's like, everybody looks up to Howard in radio. But I mean, yeah, if he's clowning me and telling me I'm a fuck face, I don't know if I want to be friends anymore.
Well, he called me a fuckface because of the Rob Schneider thing. And Rob Schneider went on Howard Stern's show. The guy's got no talent. He was drunk. That's what he was saying about me.
Rob Schneider's a fuck face.
He is a fuckface. That guy's got no talent. He's drunk.
He's drunk.
So while my mom is on her deathbed, I get all these fucking Stern fans. Yeah, I hope your mom dies, you fucking untalented drunk. I'm like, all right.
They went in hard.
The one guy, yeah, I hope your mom dies of AIDS. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I mean, we've already been through this.
You can't hurt me any
Yeah,
worse.
what are you going to say to me after that?
The other hot topic today was the Tommy Lee Instagram photo.
Oh my gosh, Kevin, we got so many DMs.
There's just a photo of Tommy Lee on there. There's a limp donger. Still impressive after all these years. And the other interesting thing is how low he takes his trimming down. I mean, it barely looks like moss covering the rocks, and he's way down there. And I don't know, do women like a bald eagle with no nest, or do you want a little something?
I think if Tommy Lee comes in your bedroom with that dong, you don't even notice the nest.
Honestly, most of the times in my life, it would appear that majority of women don't like the baldy Rinaldi. They don't like the skin. They don't like it going to the bear.
Bald is a little much, but he appears to be trimmed, not bald.
I think you want to go in the fine, the kind of the medium porridge, as Goldilocks would say. You don't want too much hair, but you don't want a baldy Rinaldi. You want to just keep it nice and kept.
I would agree. Keep it clean. Keep it to where it looks like it's seen a bar of soap.
Now, if you're Tommy Lee, you can do what the fuck you want. You can wear a bow tie on that thing if you want.
But he's very clean everywhere else. If you notice in the picture, he's a pretty hairless man to begin with.
Guy's still so skinny. He's got like no body fat.
I like Tommy Lee. I've seen him in many interviews. And I understand some people might find him annoying. I think if he's on your side, he's probably a fun dude to hang out with.
Oh, he's probably a freaking riot.
He seems like a nice guy, and Vince Neil seems like the prick.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
No, I do agree with you. No, he seems, actually everybody in Motley Crue but Vince seems like they're pretty cool guys.
Well, Vince Neil's got lead singer syndrome. I mean, he had it when he was getting up on the scene. That's something that doesn't get out of somebody. He's got leads. It's a thing where the lead singer really does fucking think they're bigger and better than anything.
Mm-hmm. Eric, just one of the many comments. Erica, one of the many comments that we got today. People wanted to get the photo, and I think that's the only way we can have it because, yeah, I mean, anywhere you show it, it's going to be taken down on platforms.
We can't post it, but I'm more than happy to share it with my girls, and some guys also DM'd us.
Yeah, but she said the Tommy Lee pick was a wowzer. So it's still impressing after all these years.
Guy could have batting practice with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not completely at full erection. He's just showing what he's got. He looks to be 75%.
But I will say this, though. I've seen the video. Tommy doesn't have much left. He's not a grower. He's a shower.
Okay.
And if you're a shower, he's don't get me wrong. He's gonna get bigger. It ain't gonna be that much bigger.
Okay.
He just doesn't have. He's just. I mean, it's so fucking big already.
We also were talking about Anne Heche and how they are reportedly looking into charges of felony DUI for her. She is not doing well medically, though. She's in critical condition. She sustained severe burns after the vehicle fire where she drove into that house in California. And we were asking, okay, so if she is charged with felony DUI, what do they do if you're hurt and you're in the hospital? And we did hear some interesting things about how they will bring a law enforcement officer of some sort, one or two, to kind of stand by. They remove everything from the room, minus the equipment needed to work on you in your bed. So they do get all that stuff out, I guess, so you can't find a weapon or anything to that nature.
Gotcha.
And in some instances, they do handcuff you to the bed. Melody had said in New York, it doesn't matter if you're in a coma or not. If you're under arrest, you are handcuffed to the bed.
It's a good safety precaution.
It also lets you know right away, oh, shit, I fucked up last night.
I witnessed this when a friend of mine was basically dead and he was handcuffed with an officer standing by his bed.
Wow.
Dang, that would be a oh shit moment when you wake up and you're like,
what
did I do?
Well,
you wonder if she has any memory of it whatsoever.
Well, I know those drinking days. You know, when you wake up, you're like, all right, what's going on? Imagine if you're like, uh-oh. Like, and you're tugging.
I'm trying to text Kevin. I can't. I'm fucking handcuffed to the hospital bed.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my gosh.
What did I do?
That happens to people, man. They wake up and they're like, they wake up in jail.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Let me see a couple other things going on today. I did see that that Nicola Peltz Beckham, the one who got married to Brooklyn Beckham on Palm Beach in April, she was addressing the supposed feud with her mother-in-law, Victoria.
It's kind of a boring statement. She's saying there is no feud, but...
She's saying it had to do with the rumor that she had walked down the aisle in a Valentino gown rather than wearing a dress designed by Victoria Beckham, who's been designing her own clothing since 2008. She said, I was going to, but then I guess in alterations they couldn't do it, so she had to pick another dress. But that isn't even the rumors that we had heard.
No.
We had heard it had other stuff to do, so she didn't even address what we thought the beef was all about.
We heard the beef was about whoever was on stage, the wedding singer, somebody famous, was acknowledging Victoria and not Nicola, even though Nicola was the bride. But I guess Victoria had pulled some strings to get the performers there. And so they were doing it as a favor to Victoria, and they knew her, and they were just shouting her out, and Nicola was jealous. I don't know. We weren't there.
Just to give a little balance to the show. Who gives a fuck? Okay, that's all. Just to give balance.
I actually love a good a cat fight, but
I know you do, and
I'm sorry.
And you could have it, and you could have that cat fight. But I'm over here going, fuck that cat fight.
You're over there looking at Tommy Lee's dick pics.
No, man, I'm not looking at that thing anymore.
It'll bring you down.
Yeah.
A bunch of people asked me for the picture, including my husband, and I was like, babe, are you sure you want to see that? I mean, it's just not fair.
Whatever.
No mortal man should compare himself to Tommy Lee.
Siddiquie's doing fine.
I agree. I'm like, dude, you're good.
Yeah.
So, Virginia, you got your moment. Now, this one, I guess, is for Bird. Cesar was talking about Jay Bird's question with the Batwoman movie that got shut down. He said, just let Virginia know she can have a swig of Kahlua and doze off for a second. Has something to do with Ezra Miller, the guy who's been playing the Flash in those DC movies. And there's some weird shit going on with this dude. There's a story today that I guess there's a mom and 3 kids who are missing from his property in Vermont, and they might have been held against their will. And they showed up, Vermont State Police did, to talk to Ezra Miller about it. The kids are age 1, 4, and 5, and he said that the family left 2 months ago and they hadn't been back since, but doesn't sound like they totally believe him. And remember, Ezra Miller is the guy who was going batshit crazy in Hawaii, getting all hammered and doing weird stuff.
Well, you remember the movie, I don't know if you saw it, Perks of Being a Wallflower. He's in that movie, and that movie is a little bit bizarre, and especially the character. And I think that, like, in real life, Ezra Miller may be a little bizarre. Like, he's not acting.
Okay. Yeah, so it has to do with Ezra Miller's The Flash and Michael Keaton's Batman and all this kind of stuff tied together. So apparently why it didn't come out.
The mom was like posting all the time on social media until like mid-July, and nobody's heard from her or her 3 kids since mid-July. And they're like, did Ezra Miller do something to them?
So they got this guy, and he's kind of holding everything up, this Ezra Miller, because he's a freaking nut job, and they have to put his movie on hold because everything that's going on.
Wow.
It's held off the Michael Keaton Batman. And so basically, to break it down, is the Batwoman screening made no sense, as people were wondering why Michael Keaton is here, because it's thrown off the order and how it's supposed to go. So the storyline didn't really fall into any of the current DC storytelling in the films. It was kind of a fish out of water, and the movie was also described as rushed.
I heard that it was a piece of shit, that it was unwatchable. That the screening, they screened it for a bunch of people, and everyone was like, what the fuck is this?
Really?
But that's a report behind the scenes. Whether it's accurate, I don't know.
They decided to stop it because it's still a tax write-off. They're able to write off their production on their taxes. Problem with writing off their production is that DC is not allowed to profit from it anyway. Film streaming, advertising, or merchandising, so it'll never be released unless it gets leaked online in a pirate way. So that's it.
It's kind of like that fucking Sesame Street episode I told y'all about the Wicked Witch. It got scrapped, and then it's finally researched. I want you guys to watch it. So you have to fast forward through all the ABCs and I'm Grover and all that shit and just get right to the witch parts.
There's some dark stuff.
It's bizarre. It's a weird thing to put in Sesame Street, and you wonder what the fuck they were thinking. It was that bizarre, Virginia.
I got to get a little bit of that.
You got to watch a little bit of it, I'm telling you.
I like dark Sesame Street.
I know you don't smoke weed, but I think you smoke a joint for this one.
Let me see. We got a good movie review here. Jason had said Bullet Train with Brad Pitt was awesome. My wife and I loved it.
Okay, the promos they were running make it look really fun.
I like Brad Pitt movies, man. I think he's a good actor.
Me too. I like Brad Pitt.
I like Brad Pitt.
Also, another thing to keep an eye on, we had talked about how Disney seems to be having some issues, minus their Disney Plus app that's doing well. It seems like all things Star Wars are crushing for them and everything else, and that's kind of where they're making their bank. But things are going to change a bit if you do have the Disney Plus. They say the new ad-supported subscription tier is going to be debuting in the U.S. on December 8th. And it's going to cost $7.99 a month. So you pay $7.99 a month, but it's going to have ads. And apparently it's rocking some people right now because that's what people are paying right now without the ads.
That is bullshit. You're paying that service and you're already... No.
So you're going to pay the same amount, but then they're going to still add
ads
in the advertisements.
And what they're going to do is they're going to say, well, now you can be the mouse VIP fucker and you can get 12 for $15, no ads. And they're going to have another service that you have to pay for to get no ads. It's the same shit YouTube did.
Are they talking about their security measures at all and stopping people from, like, I don't know, say stealing their friend Jaybird's password and using Disney Plus at my house?
Look, I want you to watch the fuck out of that thing.
Rocco does.
Good. Spread it to the neighborhood. Let's get my money's worth.
Noel the Mole in the chat room said that the ad-free will now go up to $10.99.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's what they do.
There is a VIP tier.
They're Steve Jobs in us.
Damn.
Yeah. Too good to be true, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about just buying the movies and say, fuck you, Disney Plus.
Did get a text about Bullet Train with Bad Bunny because he's in it as well. In fact, he's going to be playing 2 shows at Hard Rock Stadium this weekend. That's going to be the big thing going down.
I mean, bro is doing a takeover.
He has the #1 album on planet Earth,
Damn.
#1 in the U.S., and they said, I think that he's going to evolve into the next Benicio del Toro.
Wow.
That was the one thing that they were saying. The director of Bullet Train is saying, this dude is a good actor. He is going to be a superstar on the screen. So he's a mass appeal guy. So it'll be fascinating to see what happens with him.
People are blowing the Bullet Train movie, by the way.
Really?
In the chat room, they're saying,
oh, I want to go see it.
I'm getting text messages, too, about it. People
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. I might have to be. I mean, hey, it could be a very Bad Bunny kind of weekend. You could go see him one night at Hard Rock Stadium and then go watch his movie the next.
They were showing pictures on social media of the red carpet premiere when all those Bullet Train actors were together on the red carpet. That Bad Bunny has some swagger.
Yeah.
He definitely is
more than Kevin?
way more. Even with Kevin's new hair.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nobody hotter on planet Earth right now than Bad Bunny. And he's going to be here this weekend.
We were snoozing on him until you filled us in.
What happens
keep
on
y'all caught up?
What happens on Easter, though? Who's the bigger bunny?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny's bigger
Still,
than the
he's bigger
Easter
than the
Bunny.
Easter Bunny now.
Shit. Easter Bunny got canceled?
Yeah.
Sit down, Easter Bunny. There's a new bunny in town.
Mexican Queen wants the Tommy Lee dick pic. I'm not sure I'm going to send it to her.
I'm going to send it to her.
Why do you want to be a fucking heel? He's your boy.
She's the
I
bad wrestler.
believe in
She
giving
is.
women what they want. If she wants it, she gets it.
I don't. I never give a woman what they want. I'm the exact opposite.
Look, whatever gets you to the day, Queen.
I'm sure your dick is awesome, dog.
Thank you.
Prove it. Prove it.
Your Logan log. I bet that thing is awesome.
I bet it can do prep.
Oh, Kevin's got the
Yeah.
most organized dick and balls on the planet.
No, it is.
It's so organized.
It is.
He pisses on a schedule. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's very clean and neat. Another thing we were talking about today was the 2 songs that have changed the lyrics that had the word spaz in it. Beyonce had just done hers. And I imagine artists from now on will probably not use the word spaz. And the story that I'd had kind of gave you maybe an idea of why they got such backlash because it was Beyonce and her name's escaping me.
Lizzo.
Yeah,
Both
Lizzo.
of them, yeah.
Yeah, had songs that had the word spaz in it. And I guess in England, the story was explaining that they consider that to be the second worst word that you can use for anyone with a handicap next to the R word, which people don't know what that was, but retard. So that is a tasteless word to use now. They were saying that. You said that you had a friend that has cerebral palsy, and apparently that's what the spaz is in reference to. Spastic, whatever they call it, the technical term.
Yeah, she's a KVJ Nationer. She's always posting stuff about her cerebral palsy journey. And I've learned a lot by watching her page.
And so she responded to you and she said that spaz is an offensive way of referring to someone who has cerebral palsy. It makes it difficult to control the muscles. Maybe you guys should talk about it on the radio. I've talked to some of my cerebral palsy followers about it, and some feel like it's the disabled version of using the N-word. Some feel indifferent about it. So that's where it is a hot button. Other people, it's not. And so I think it'll be interesting to see where it falls, because I think we'd all agree that if it feels odd now if I hear someone say retard, you're like,
right.
You're like, whoa,
You're like,
man.
no, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah. So will spaz get to that level in 5 years? It'll be the S word.
It's just weird because I've heard from people who do suffer from the same thing, and they said they weren't offended. So
Well, that's what she said.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
said some are not and some are.
And that's what's difficult about these kind of things is because just because you're offended by it, does that mean everyone else needs to get rid of it?
I just feel like if it hurts one person's feelings that has cerebral palsy, I don't want to do that.
No, it's not. I totally. No one here on this show wants to be mean to anybody. Of course not. But my point is, we even had a conversation about outdating or outlawing the word crazy, and it just seems like there's so many words now where it's going to get to a point. You can't say that anymore, Kevin. You can't say that either. That offends me. That offends me. And look, I like to write. I like to be a creative writer. I believe in using free speech, and I mean, I wrote the word spaz in a theme song. So I know what my intent was. I know where it was coming from.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we just don't look at intent. I think we just hear something, we have our feelings hurt, and then we don't really look into why it was done, why it was said, and what that word means different to a lot of people in the United States. It doesn't mean a derogatory term towards somebody.
Yeah, and the article, if you missed the segment earlier, was saying that in Australia, Great Britain, other English-speaking nations outside of America, we kind of took a different turn with it. And they said, especially in black culture, which it was Beyonce and Lizzo, that really it's usually a self-deprecating word that you talk about how uncoordinated you are.
Yes.
Right. That's how we use it too.
Well, that's what I mean. I've been called a spaz my entire life because
And I don't think that it's going to take the same path. I really don't. I think right now you've had 2 instances where people got rid of it, but it doesn't seem, especially when you have people that, and we've even had other comments outside of the one that you just brought to me, Virginia, people that do have cerebral palsy or whatever, and they say it doesn't do anything. It doesn't afflict me at all.
And then the people that aren't offended or aren't offended by it are going to say, well, why do we have to listen to the people who are offended? I'm not offended. And then you go down the slippery slope of anytime you're offended, you want something canceled, you want it off the books, and it can be a lot of other words too that is in jeopardy. It's just something to think about.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is kind of a scary thing out there with language today because you see what happens. And, one thing that makes me a little bit nervous too, because we have red light words, yellow light, and green light. And you have the M word as a red light word. Like if you're white, you don't use that word. You have green light words where it's like, yeah, that's completely fine. And then I would say, maybe the spaz right now for me would be a caution light. Let's just see where this goes. I don't know how this is going to be offensive or not. And one thing for me with it was probably a couple of weeks ago, my son plays video games with his friends. And you can hear what they're saying. And I think Cannon's really the only white kid in his friend group. He's got 4 other kids that he hangs out with a lot. 2 of them I take home from school every single day and drop them off, so know pretty well. And they're all, every kid, the other 4 kids are black. And so I was walking by his room, and I heard the kid he was playing the video games with, and I think I know who it is. It's one of the kids that I'm familiar with, and I heard him use the N-word. And in a way, like, Cannon knows not to use that word, but it makes me nervous.
That it was in his circle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And because he needs to know it's different if he says it as opposed to if someone who's black says it. And it just is.
It is. And it does make me nervous. And like I said, he knows, and I don't want to keep, hey, that N-word.
Just to reiterate.
Right. I mean, I want to make sure you really, really get it because they throw it around a good bit. And the conversations that I hear and the videos that he watches a lot of TikTok videos that are sports related. His whole culture is black culture. It's video games, it's shoes, it's music, it's movies, it's his friend group. That's it. The only thing is he's white. And so they all are using language that he cannot touch. And I just know how things go. When you keep hearing a word,
it becomes comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you see what happened with Morgan Wallen. I don't know where Morgan Wallen's heart is on the subject.
Sure.
But he threw it out when he'd had some drinks, and it came out of his mouth.
And he was saying
on video.
It to a white guy.
Yeah. And you just can't do it. And you see what happened with that cat. He's still
hurting from it.
You saw what happened to him. He had the #1 album.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, it didn't hurt him that bad.
It didn't hurt Morgan Wallen. I think it was a good lesson, and in the moment, I think it did. But when you look back at the whole thing,
He still sold albums. He did have to miss award shows and do some of that stuff. And I'm sure there were some contracts and gigs and things like that he did take a financial hit.
Stuff that we don't know about. Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm sure there was some of that in there. But yeah, it didn't. And I'm happy. It sounds like he's learned a valuable lesson, and a lesson that people like my son Cannon can, look at and be like, hey, this is why.
Cannon, don't be Morgan.
You've obviously had talks with him.
Yeah, I've said it, and I don't want to overly be like, yeah, Dad, I get it, and he doesn't. He's very careful with his language. Like I said, my son doesn't swear, and and that's why I feel better about it, because he's surrounded by foul language constantly, and I don't know if I've ever heard him say a foul word. He just doesn't, and I think he recognizes that, hey, I don't want to go down that way and use that kind of language. So that does make me feel easier, but when I hear that coming out of his room.
I get it.
It's still just
it's alarming.
It's a jarring word.
Yeah.
Because it's as bright a red a word as you can get for me.
Because you don't use it. And
No.
it's not something that's ever in your vernacular, in your home, in your career, in your personal life. And so, yeah, when you hear it in your house, it's going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
It is. So walking by the room and hearing a kid that he's playing a video game with, and there's a lot of N-bombs in there flying around, you're just like, gosh, it makes me nervous.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I've eliminated out of my vocabulary. When I used to play gigs, we used to do Minds Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boys, and it would go off. People would love what we'd play, and we'd sing the whole thing with the N-words and all that.
Yeah.
This is, when I was 19, 20 years old, wouldn't caught dead doing it.
You've seen that now, where you've had white girls that will sing a rap song that has the N-word in it, and boom. It comes down heavy on them.
Fast.
Yeah. Fast and furious.
Don't be dumb.
The ruling is out there. If you're like, I didn't know. Well, you should know, because there's a lot of instances where it don't play. They don't play. So there you go. Let me see. Got an email here from Cesar about school traffic. He said, yeah, we're kind of dealing with it. My wife said it took her an hour and a half to get through and get Cannon to school today.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I got something for her to make the pain ease up a little bit.
Dick pic. There you go.
Send.
Yeah. Eases her pain, only just makes Kevin fucking cry. Internally, he ain't gonna show you his weakness, but he's crying right now.
Oh,
Calling you a Benedict Arnold.
Yeah, I think I'm scheduled to get Cannon this afternoon, so I'll let you know tomorrow what it's like. Because I was in a groove. I knew exactly what time to leave the house, and it was fluid.
Now you got to get there early because you don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah. He said a lot of charter or choice school students are still waiting for their bus assignments through A&S Transportation. I'm having to take my high schooler to school while we wait for the bus stop assignment for their school. And that'll let you know, too, if that's going on, that's going to affect the school line. That's what we'd heard today, is that there are a lot of parents that are doing the drop-off where the kid normally would be on a bus. So that adds more cars into the line, and thus it's going to take you a lot longer. So that will explain why that's going down. So there you go. So we'll see. So that might be, that'd be a long afternoon.
I'll be praying for you. That sucks.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Days like today where you're like, I wish I was Bird.
Well, I'll tell you the one dangerous thing about it is because I have to drive from West Palm to Boca and then sit in the line. And so I try to make sure, hey, pee before you go. But you have that, and I'm always drinking fluids. Just one thing I do. And so you're always drinking fluids. You get into that car line, there's no getting out of it.
There's no place to go.
There's no bathroom. Like, it's not like you've got a quick, hey, I'll just pull over here to the side or whatever. I mean, you're locked in it. You get into that car line, and if it's an hour and a half long, you are in there for an hour and a half.
That's what sucked about flying, man. I'm drinking before the flight, and when you're drinking, you break the seal. You got to pee left and right. Mm-hmm. So I just pee right before the flight. I'd sit down, and all of a sudden it would just the flight's not moving, no one's going, and it's like 30 minutes. And
I gotta go.
Fuck, I gotta get up now. It's a big thing. It's pissing on a plane is the worst.
It really is hard.
I couldn't imagine pooping on a plane. People poop on a plane.
Those people are animals.
Poop on a plane. I can't believe that. 2 flights to Ohio,
Right.
back and forth. 2 people took dumps.
You're not cool. You're what we call a brown terrorist. You fart and you poop in the plane. You're not cool.
Under 2.5 hours, we can't control our butthole.
It's not cool.
I mean, dude,
It's not cool.
what are you eating?
You might be able to control that, but yeah, sometimes when you got to pee and if you're drinking a lot of liquids, man, it can get tough. And
It does.
here's the only other option that you have. Let's say you got a bottle next to you and you're like, okay, I got to go. There's nowhere to go. I'm stuck in this car line. I can't get out of this car line because I got to get my kid. And then they put the pressure on. Well, you got to have your kid picked up by this time or they'll call like DCF and then the cops will be waiting for you. It's like, gosh. So you're sitting there going, okay, you have all this pressure. Like, I can't leave. You look at the bottle. You're like going, okay, can I pee in this bottle? But here I am in a car line out front of a school.
You
not
can't
get
take
caught.
your penis out.
Right. So I
cannot
got my
get caught.
dick in my hand, peeing in a bottle in a car line out front of a school. How bad could that get? There's a no-win situation here.
If you got to pee in a bottle, go Gatorade, not Zephyr Hills.
She's right. Even Tommy Lee can get in a Gatorade bottle.
Okay.
You don't want to. Tommy Lee couldn't piss in a Pepsi bottle. His dick now. The
Oh
bird.
my gosh.
The bird could.
Oh, don't say
I'm
that.
just kidding. I can't fucking do a little comedy.
Yeah. Becky had said, Kevin, you can't park somewhere, then go walk to get Cannon. You really can't. The way that the school is designed that he goes to, it's houses and things like that. You can't park on the street out front.
It's a neighborhood.
Yeah, you could park about maybe a half mile away and walk in and try to get him and then try to get back out. But, I don't know. Don't think that's a good option. So I'm going to have to just risk.
Anytime you're peeing in a moving car, something's gone gravely wrong. If you have to piss in a...
Absolutely. And like I said, though, but this situation puts you, even if you plan like I do to the nth degree, you still know that you could be riding into a bad situation. That you just got to hope and pray that somebody, the school resource officer doesn't come up and knock on your window with your dick in your hand. You're like, oh.
Hey, Mr. Ralston, put your cock away, please.
Yeah.
Slow down your water intake, maybe, just until you figure out this schedule.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to just
I have keep that in mind.
adjust.
Yeah.
Adjust. It's like a funnel, Kev.
I don't think you got the balls to piss your pants.
Yeah, that'd be the other option. Well, then I got to take my son's friends home.
They'll talk.
They'd be like, why does your
Wait.
car smell like urine?
Yeah. And then I got Caitlin's car, so I'd be pissing all over her seat.
Daddy.
Daddy, why does my
Daddy,
car smell like pus?
My car smells like piss.
This is not going to be cool for Liv.
I can't take my friends anywhere. They're like, your car smells like piss.
I got to sue me now.
Why did you piss in my car, Dad? Jesse said, I got a touch of social anxiety, and I recently went to get my first tattoo. I was nervous, and because I got a history of passing out, I was overhydrating on my way to the studio, which was an hour drive.
Ooh.
By the time I'd arrived, I had to pee so bad, no big deal. I'll just pee in the studio. So I checked in at the studio, but the artist was running about 20 minutes behind. So they encouraged me to go get a coffee. No thanks, bladder's about to explode as is. I'll come back. Instead of listening to my screaming bladder and asking to use the restroom, I just left. I left. The studio is located in one of those weird, hard to navigate neighborhoods in Atlanta. I searched for this coffee shop or a restaurant or a public restroom, something, with no luck, and I did what I had to do. I walked back to my vehicle, a larger SUV. I dumped out what remained of my Grande Ice Green Tea. I climbed into the back seat and I peed in that Grande Starbucks cup. I had to. I was so relieved, but I noticed it's not stopping.
Oh, boy.
The pee is going and going. I filled up the Grande Starbucks cup, and instead of simply asking to use the restroom, I peed in a Starbucks cup in my car. What? Why? Pro life tip, always have an empty Starbucks cup in your vehicle at all times. Venti. or schedule some time with a licensed therapist to help you work through your anxiety issues.
Aww.
How about that?
I tell you what, man. If I know I have to go to a doctor's office, I can drink so much water. But I'm usually nervous when I go to any kind of medical whatever. I just don't like it. I'm uncomfortable. It's always so cold. You're getting prodded. Who likes going to the fucking doctors? I get so dehydrated. I believe they call it the white knuckle syndrome.
Yes.
I'm just waiting in the lobby area, the waiting room, and even if you're drinking water, the nervousness will make you really dehydrated. And if you're dehydrated, and you have to draw blood. Right. It is a
it's
bitch.
Tough.
So getting your tattoo done without being hydrated or being hydrated, you got to be hydrated for this tats.
You would hate going to the gynecologist. It's the worst.
But I would love having a pussy.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. By the way, Jessie did get her tattoo finally, and there it is. She sent a photo. Oh,
nice.
Pretty. Some little flowers.
Very nice. Nice tattoo artist they have there in Atlanta. So thank you for all the emails here today. Mail at kvjshow.com. And we also have the confession app that is set up. It is pinned to the top of our social media platforms. Want to know, do you have a side social media account, and what do you use it for? That's the question
so
we're asking.
Good.
You know it ain't for anything good.
Yeah, so you can confess anonymously and let us know. I mean, are you trolling people? Are you trying to make yourself look better in other ways?
Are you trying to bust somebody in your family that's doing something shady?
Could be. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So let us sound off on that, and we'll either get to that tomorrow or next week when we talk about confessions. So y'all have a great Thursday. We'll see you back here on Friday. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.